Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie
Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main? Est-ce que vous pouvez couper le... on va regarder un sujet sur la...
Okay, we're live. Just
Hi,
the two of us,
everybody.
because no one wants to join this shit show apparently. Anyway,
Well, that's okay.
we've switched cameras up. I don't know if it's for better or worse. I don't know. I think I look uglier on this one myself, but whatever.
You are not ugly.
Have you been following all that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 back and forth debate, if you will?
Yes,
I mean, I'm just looking at it going, okay, so you got a different opinion, but they're like, you have a different opinion, you must die. You know, they're like angry as hell about it. We have Sergeant Giratina. Hello.
Hi, Sarge. Yeah, I have.
Oh, we also have Midnight Ladybug. Hi, chat.
Hi, Ladybug.
I'm not high, but I would probably feel better if I were.
Yeah, about that game, I think I have a unpopular opinion about that game.
Look, it would seem so do I. I mean, these people are like, oh, if you think it's woke, the hell with you, basically. And then they'll follow up with, you can have an opinion of your own, but okay, you can have an opinion of your own, but why are they so fucking mad if you do?
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Look, you know, I don't even know if I can be considered part of this community, but sure don't look like it. But if I am, you know, I just want to say, why the hell can't we have a slight difference of opinion and people not be upset as fuck about it?
Well, the thing about that is that's what makes the world go round, is differences of opinion and common civil debate on those said opinions, because two opinions can be right. You know, two people can be right and see it a little bit different.
Well, they think people are falling for baiting, you know, where you get this one person who's overly woke, and if there's anything gay in a game, it's woke automatically by default. Okay, here's my take on that. I don't give a fuck who writes what article. I come to my own conclusions. Now, I try to stay informed, even if it means reading both sides. Besides that, um, right now, with the way things are going, if there's any gayness in games, I'm like, okay, gays exist. Okay, it can be in games, whatever. But right now, I gotta call it woke because they're shoving it down everybody's throat. And it's kind of like if you get any of it at all, it's kind of like, yeah, I know what this is. It wasn't in the first game. Why is it in the second? Yeah, I know what this is. It feels kind of like that. It feels like you have to call it woke.
Well, the thing is that's what it is. Because, I mean, yeah, this game is supposed to be kind of historically accurate, sort of. And yeah, we all know that stuff happened back then and it happens now. But the whole
Well,
point of a game is to get away from all that stuff.
all those little details are nitpicking. I mean, unless it really looks like two kids going at it is nitpicking. We have Furious Dan. Shout out to you, my friend, and to you as well.
Hi, Dan. But that's my point. You play games to get away from all the bullshit that is that is everywhere. Why in the hell would you want to play a game with that shit in it? Why? When it serves no purpose other than to be in there.
Well, one thing is in the first game they had straight sex, so a lot of people were going, "Well, they had that, and that was easy to achieve. What's wrong with them having gay sex?"
I don't agree with them putting any sex in a game. I just don't. To me, it's
Well,
stupid.
they would call you a some of them anyway. Some would call you a religious fanatic, or a morality grifter, or some such. Right? I just
Oh,
say it's okay to have a difference of opinion. We don't have to fight about it.
yeah. But, I
I
mean,
mean, I'm okay with sex in a game as long as it's not full out, like a porno,
well,
uh, if it's more than anything hinted at what's going on.
yeah. I mean, it can be hinted at. I mean, I'm not saying that. But if you got to sit there in order to progress in the game and do that, it's not fucking worth it. You know? Some people might like that. Everybody don't. And it should be strictly optional to where, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But some games, you would have to do that in order to progress, and that's complete and utter bullshit. I'm going, you know what? To hell with all this. I think I'm going to go back to playing Mario. At least you know what you got,
Well, I just think, I mean, you can say, oh, they're following the morality grifters and they're falling for it, or you could say it's woke, or I'm just saying, have your opinion and your beliefs. I really don't care. I mean, why are you getting so upset about it? There's different people with different minds and different feelings and different reasons why they came to that conclusion. What's the big debate about? I mean, people have been like going against each other with this bullshit.
That's stupid.
Do you hear my squeaky chair?
Yes, I hear your squeaky
I
chair.
don't know. Maybe I should take some fucking WD 40 to it or something.
I'll let it squeak. I think it's cute. It gives it character.
What? Like I'm an old man?
No, it's the chair.
No, fuck the chair. But not literally. I'm not like, trying to give that kind of content out there.
Not these days. But there is no sense in people fighting with each other over a stupid game. Which that game could be taken away from people at any given point. So what's the damn point? I mean, there's other stuff that is more important to deal with then that's bullshit.
Well, I know, this a problem that YouTube kind of causes. You have to go with what the algorithm, and people learn the algorithm, and they're like, this is what's gonna get attention, so I'm gonna lean into this. It's kind of like that Mercanti monster bullshit.
Ugh.
Um, I actually believe everybody should just ignore the fuck out of her and not say another word, and she would go away. But I think they're having too much fun, doing this back and forth with her. But she's already sued one person, and this is only gonna get uglier. I mean, and I get it. If she came on my chat and started saying some shit, I'd be like, oh, I'd get fucking fierce with it. I get it. But when it's a group thing,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like mini groups versus her, and she just keeps popping in and poking the bear. Well, the bear can't eat her, so to speak. So, ignore her, she'll go away. But
Well,
that's the thing. They want the clicks. They want, all that.
well, the thing is if she came on this channel, as long as she was civil, I would sit there and have a civil conversation with her. I would. Why not? I wouldn't agree with her, but I'm not gonna be ugly for the sake of being ugly. But now, if she started being ugly with me, somebody will have to hold my earrings, because no, because there's no sense in being a horrible person to somebody else just for the sake of doing it. There's no sense.
Well, that's the internet for you. I mean, unfortunately, it's comprised of horrible people, and in a sense, it encourages them to be horrible.
Well, that reminds me of back when I got into politics. Pretty heavy.
It's fucking poison, isn't it?
Yeah, and one day I thought, what in the hell am I doing? This is making me feel terrible. And it makes me mad at people that I don't even know.
I would actually love to make all happy content, but there's just not enough of it out there. I mean, it could be that I'm kind of a miserable person, which I don't deny that. You got a lot of people going, "Ooh, look at my anime. I love it, and you love it, and we all love it, and we can all love it together." And that's good. Great for them. If you love it, good, great. I'm just kind of bitter. I'm not into a lot of things, but I am really good at seeing the bad in things, unfortunately.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean,
That is
say
the
for example, I believe Sergeant Giratina here is probably a lot more pure of a soul than I am. He has more happiness in him. He loves things. He loves a lot of pop culture. And I really love seeing people like that. And, in a sense, in a way, they're still a child at heart. And that's not an insult. I'm saying they're into things and they love things. And I like seeing that. But I'm not so much that.
What I get tickled at is
let me just say, Furious Dan's much like that himself.
Yeah.
Although he has an anger with him, he's furious.
I know. and you know something else? I like to see him get to going on something. But you know what?
He'll get to going with a fucking Spanish, I suppose, right? He'll get to going with that Spanish. And it's like that shit's spoken fast as lightning.
But you know what? It's elegant at the same time.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, it's furiously fast, but it's elegant all at the same time. And you don't need to understand what he's saying to get the message. You know what I mean?
Squeak. I need to fix this fucking chair, pull it up and burn it one.
No. But yeah, the thing is people should be able to learn from all different cultures, all walks of life, because that's how we grow as human beings. And if you can't do that, then you have to take a look at yourself and figure out, okay, why not? You know?
Wait, look, I've always had a lot of hate in my heart. I don't deny that. But as I've gotten older, I've started to learn to let it go. And I see a lot of these younger streamers who have not learned that. Some never do. Uh, and some of them like it. Some of them don't. Some of them don't like having that feeling. But that's why a lot of them clash like they do, and they take things personal, and some may be kind of backstabbing, and I'm not saying anybody is. I'm saying maybe. And then you got these like show no weakness. There is no weakness, no weakness, no weakness. You're gay if you do this. You're a fag, and if you do that, and all this kind of bullshit, right? And it's like, oh, come off your goddamn high horse. If I was their age, I would have whooped them off their fucking high horse. You got it. Would damn well know that.
Oh yeah. Well, I think a lot of that is conditioning, because people that grew up in the time that we did, they were conditioned to be that way. They'd get their ass beat if they showed any kind of emotion,
Well,
much,
yeah, I mean,
except for
for all
anger.
their bravado, when I was their age, I was 100 times more, stern and manly and whoop ass and all this bullshit. And that's part of the reason why I learned it's a load of bullshit. You need to come the fuck off of it.
Well, you have to be able to get rid of that, because eventually it will lead to physical ailments like heart problems and all that manner of stuff. And that's not good. But I just got to doing some thinking about this Mercante woman, and
And just so it's clear, I'm not insulting any fellow streamers out there. I have a great time on their shows. It's a
oh
lot
yeah,
of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie. It's good.
yeah,
But I'm sure we can all agree there's some assholes and backstabbers out there.
yeah. Well, like Mercante and that Jaffe person and all those people, something must have happened to them or something. I just got to thinking about that. What happened to these people to make them so warped? And that's what it is. It's warped. It's warped thinking.
I think part of it is they want to be people pleasers, and they want to be a white knight. They want that good guy image. A lot of them, not all of them. A lot of them, that's true for.
Well, you got to be a good person in order to, you know,
And
you can't be
this noise is my drink opening.
boom.
It's a pop top.
Yep. But yeah, you gotta be a good person in order to. It's
It's
gotta
like,
be
welcome to
genuine. In
our
other words,
what the fuck they call those things, AMSR videos or whatever they call it, right?
oh yeah,
Where you
yeah.
just make a lot of very annoying swiping and tapping and whispering noises. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm about to kill somebody. This shit
Oh
don't stop.
God, yeah. I saw a video on that where they were whispering, and I'm going, "This is driving me insane. I can't take this shit. I can't take it. I had to click off the video. I couldn't watch
They
it.
need soothed with their noises and fidget spinners.
Mm-mm. That was driving me insane. I could, and the dogs hated it too. It's like, what the shit? I had to quit the video.
It's a little like this.
You unzip me. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. I hate you. It's all coming back. You understand? I don't like it. I don't like to think about it.
Yeah, it was like that. I was going, oh my God. the dogs was about to have a fit, and I had to get off the video. I couldn't watch it. Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up my every show dancing hoe.
Me.
She's not dancing, but let's just call it a dance. It's something.
Me. Choose me. Love me.
I do this, and you know, I do this bullshit, right? And I think it's funny, but every day it's a slow trickle of loss of subscribers, and it's like, god damn, how destined to fail am I?
Yeah, I can't figure that out either. I mean, it's like we were doing really good there for a long time, and then all of a sudden it just bottomed out, and we're not doing anything different. So I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah. Sergeant Giratina says, "Oh, I see Danny DeVito. Hold my DualShock loves using clips of him in their streams too." And thanks for that. I hear Danny DeVito is a great person, and I always love hearing about these great people that go out of their way for people. I do that quite often, but people tend not to ask me. You know, it's kind of like, no, not anybody. You, I'll ask everybody, but you. You stay the fuck out.
that's
You
because
like I guess you're invited, but you cannot partake in anything.
I think it's because I think it's because you got this really alpha kind of vibe, you know, like
I've heard that, but I'm like, what?
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, okay, let me put it like this. Who you see here, this is not me. The way I feel inside is a whole different fucking person. You can't all too much change the way you look. I mean, look, I can do this. I can do this, right? Really change anything? Fuck no. I can shave. That really change anything? Fuck no. So I can wear a white shirt. Does that really change anything? Fuck no. So my point is, you know, my outward appearance and body language is just part of my genetics, part of who I am. But inside, that's not who I am at all.
well, you kind of, to me, and I've noticed other people like in public and stuff, they kind of treat you like this video game, you know, warrior kind of person. Like, oh man, hey, come on, I need you to go fight this person for me, and I need you to go here and whoop this person's ass, and all
I
this.
actually used to get that a lot. People paid me to fight for them often.
Yeah, that's my point.
But it was not something I sought out. It was just it kept being offered to me, and I was like, okay, money's money. I mean, no gay, no homo, no homo. I don't mean like that. No, I do not mean like that. But I'll take a fist, but I don't take no dick. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't mean take a fist like that.
I was gonna say you better clarify that part. You know how the internet is these days.
Okay, are you people not entertained?
Finish him. I can't do the music. I can't do that music. You know the music. Mortal Kombat music. You know what I'm talking about.
Look, I time to time get highly disillusioned with YouTube and all that surrounds it, but I keep doing it. I did quit there for a week once, and I felt lost not being able to upload shit, even though virtually no one watches it. I felt lost, you know. So for now, I continue doing it and hope to one day gain traction, even though it's been more than a year now.
Well, I don't know. I like doing these because it's therapeutic for one. You meet people and you exchange ideas, and you know that kind of thing. And it's something to do, you know. I mean, we're all here in the boonies anyway, and there's nothing to do. I mean, nothing. You can't go anywhere. Now, the only thing there is to do around here, yep, and listen to that all the time, is church and auctions, and that's it. There's nothing else. Nothing.
Well, for that matter, I go out and I don't like what I see. Everybody's listening to rap, everybody's talking slang, like hard slang, like for no fucking good reason. Everybody's looking kind of gayed up, honestly, and some of them very flamboyant. And I'm like, just let me crawl back under my rock.
Well, I mean, when we went to the courthouse that time, there was a trainee walking in there. I mean, and not the kind of transformer that does the pretty makeup and all that stuff. Oh no, This was a man in a dress, and the dress had blue flowers on it, and the dress was white, and they had a beard and a mustache and long hair up in a ponytail with makeup. I thought to myself, hun, you need some tips or something. If you're going to try to be a woman, at least you could do better makeup, that there's no sense in going out in public like that.
Here's the thing. If you want to try to be a woman, don't try to be, just be natural. Okay, drop all the male stuff, the machoism, but then be natural. If you're trying to strut around like the super female, you're a fucking failure at even that dumbass thing you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, because I know I used to watch trans drag queens all the time around Halloween, because to me, they can do the hell out of makeup. And I was trying to get ideas for Halloween stuff. So, and these people would do miracles with makeup.
But
and
what we were talking about is people's perception of me, right? When I worked as a bouncer for around 5 years, and then I was kicked out, and I wasn't told why, right? Well, I told the owner that kicked me out, I said to him, I would have done anything for you. And I meant it. I mean, I worked for practically free, right? I told him I would have done anything for you, but all the fuck he's seen me as was some kind of sleaze that needed to be gotten rid of. And a lot of people, actually most of them, can never see me beyond that. And it don't matter if I cut my hair and shave and wear white clothes. It don't fucking matter. I've done it. I spent long periods of time doing it. It doesn't matter. I cannot put my finger on why.
Well, I know a lot of Native Americans get done the same way. And it goes back in the 1800s, all the propaganda that was done against them. They were called monsters and the devil and all this stuff. And their treatment didn't change over the years. I mean, it still hasn't changed. A lot of them are still treated like they're less. And the thing is there's not enough of them left to make any noise. They can't go like the black people do and make a big noise and get stuff changed.
You know me, including you, I've always went out of my way, put myself in harm, went above and beyond to help people. I would fight a room full of people. I would run from the cops. I would do anything to help a person if I felt they really needed it or deserved it or whatever the case may be. Shit always came back to bite me, of course. But in every instance, they seen me as lesser.
Yeah, that is true.
Of course, nobody really accepts anything from me these days. I mean, I guess even that's gotten stale.
But, you know, I'm not real sure what to say other than we just got to keep on doing what we're doing, and hopefully at some point things get better, because it
Well,
can't
yeah,
be like this.
thinking on something that you have no control over would drive you mad. And there's a lot of people is like, well, you need to just quit whining and blah blah blah. It's like, motherfucker, I'm nearing my 50s. I've been through this enough times. I've spent years with a happy-go-lucky, positive attitude. I've bent over backwards, so to speak. I've done this shit. You think I'm just talking out my ass now? You think I'm new to this? You need to shut your goddamn mouth. If that's the way you're gonna think about it.
Yeah. But there on the other hand, there's you're dealing with all this, and I can't help but think there's a lot of other people that are dealing with the same thing. It's just too bad we all can't get together to help each other instead of everybody tearing each other apart. I think that's a breakdown of the human function, because people have forgotten how to get together and help each other. And that's sad.
Well, you have pack mentality. The pack, it's kind of like, oh, poor Rudolph, they won't let him play at reindeer games. You get a lot of that. You get a whole hell of a lot of that. You know how many people I've encountered in my little circle? It's like, I get so many messages, it's overwhelming. I get invited to so many things, it's just too much. I'm like, really? I'm not getting a goddamn thing. Where are you getting this? What's going on? How's this happening? And then I get, well, you need to contact them. It's like, really? Fucking how? There's no way through YouTube. On X/Twitter, they have to follow you. So I'm going, how? How do I do this magic thing? But anyway, we have a Tennessee pastor says sometimes violence is necessary when blasting Elon Musk for auditing the government, which this kind of behavior is expected to crop up.
Okay, is he for Elon auditing the government or
No,
against?
Against.
Oh,
In the latest cringe-inducing example of American churches being being run by leftists, Pastor Steve Cottle of Greater Second Missionary Baptist Church in Chattanooga warned that Elon Musk was breaking into the Treasury to steal your Social Security check. Now, I don't believe this is happening. To my knowledge, this isn't happening. If it is, I don't blame people for revolting. I encourage them to revolt. If it is, or if it ever does, if he goes after Social Security checks, hell yeah, they need to revolt. And I know a lot of people is like, well, that's socialism. It's like, motherfucker, people need that. There's a lot of people scamming the system, but there's a whole hell of a lot that's not also. See how when it comes your turn, are you going to turn it down when you need it? Fuck no.
no.
Now you're like, I don't want the taxes taken out of my check to help the poor and sick. But when you're poor and sick, you're not about to turn that shit down. So just sit down and shut the fuck up. So I'm going to play this little video clip.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed. This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go, and we will not go. Therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is the possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight. Well, someone might say, now, Reverend, you shouldn't be talking about violence. This isn't the Christian thing to do. Well, I will say, why not talk this way? Because Jesus did. Jesus said in this key verse, didn't it? The kingdom of heaven suffers what? Violence. And the who? The violent take it by force. The kingdom of God is a war zone. It is a battlefield. You did know this, right?
Okay, you heard that, right?
Yes, I did.
What do you make of it?
He's full of bullshit, and I'm going to tell you why. That is not what that verse means. That's not what it means. If you read the passages before it and after it, it's talking about, yeah, there is a war in the kingdom of God, but it's talking about the Romans encroaching upon the Christians and being overtaken by violent people.
Hey, I don't know if you said it, but what do you think the part about means that heaven suffers it? I mean, do you think they mean it suffers it from it happening on earth, or there's violence in heaven?
It suffers because it's happening on earth. It's like as above, so below, and everything in between.
To play the devil's advocate, oftentimes when the Bible would use the term suffer, it means to allow.
Yeah. But this preacher, he's calling for a mob. That's all he's doing. He's inciting riots. That's all.
Well, yeah. As a preacher, he absolutely should not be doing that. No one should be doing that. Okay. If there does come a time that they are literally taking the people's Social Security checks. Oh, okay. Let me back up a little bit. To be fair, they have been taking them for decades. They've been siphoning the funds out for other things. But in this new case with this Doge, which is a silly ass name, and Elon Musk, who's not actually part of the government. I know people hearing this and go, I didn't know you were a lefty. Well, fuck you. I'm not. I'm a realist. I agree with a lot of things that's going on, but I see the potential trouble for a lot of it too. But if they find without a doubt that this is happening, then yeah, I could see then inciting violence.
But to me, it's good that Elon is auditing the government. Somebody needs to, and to hold them.
You later, Sergeant Geratina.
By Sarge, to hold them accountable for all the money that has come up missing. That alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're talking about they're coming after your Social Security checks while they're handing out countless millions to random Democrats to play with, to like, hey, you can have a $8 million wedding, and other such nonsense. So maybe you should be looking at the entire picture here of what's going on. I mean, blaming Elon Musk has exposed so much with this.
Well, I mean, I
would like to see some kind of evidence to the threat happening to Social Security. I would like to see that, other than the obvious that we already know of, that they've been siphoning it out for decades.
Well, I know I feel bad if I misplace $5. I am tearing the house apart looking for it, wondering what, going insane until I find it. Can you imagine billions of dollars gone and they can't figure out where it went? No, it's bullshit. And I'm going to tell you something else. The preacher is going on about, oh, they're stealing our Social Security. Biden years ago was mad because the Congress would not cut Social Security. That was part of his talking points. He said we need to lay Social Security on the table and all that stuff.
When Biden was much younger, for decades for that matter, he argued for cutting Social Security, which they've been siphoning the funds out for decades. I think we're all going to need it. I think we need it now, but we're definitely going to need it when we're too old to work or sickly or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think so too. You can't take funds like that from people because that's what drives the government's economy. You can't take the bottom people's money, because if you do, then the top people aren't going to have that much anymore because nobody's buying their stuff anymore. So that's a dumb thing to do in the first place.
Okay, YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I have 2 viewers. Why the fuck do you hate me? I mean, I think more than anything, I blame the algorithm, because I've seen some motherfuckers more bitter than me with shittier content. YouTube, what the fuck problem do you have with me?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo. You look like a lion. Yeah, right before it's about to attack something.
Okay. Okay.
Preach. That's how I felt.
It's probably some gay black dude wearing a dress, right? Stumbled across my stuff and was like, click, 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 click. I'm making sure this motherfucking bigot never gets another view ever.
Well, you know what? That's okay, because I'll make a channel and I'll do it for you.
Yeah, we need to do that social experiment.
I'm kind of scared to do that social experiment.
Oh, fuck it. What you got to lose?
Because I know how I am.
Okay, look. I'm going to bring up the next issue. I have issues. I can't fucking help it. I have issues. Okay, let's see what I got here. Is that... I still got the wrong one. Just give me a second. Blizzard may have finally fired artist Kyle Hickey, who called for political violence against MAGA, whatever, according to former World of Warcraft team lead. I can now confirm from multiple sources that Blizzard artists who made threats against MAGA has had their Slack account deactivated. He said this is usually a sign of termination. Something was finally done. If true, this represents a major about face for Activision. As recently as February 4th, Kern had publicly stated that nothing was being done about Hickey's post citing insider sources. I had recently done a video on this. It was maybe in my last live stream. So if you don't know about it, I guess go back and watch my shit, which I know you're not going to do. Fucking pussy. Anyway. Now with Hickey's deactivation appearing to signal his potential termination, Activision Blizzard may be attempting to quietly contain the backlash. And yeah, that's what I think it is. And, they'll probably just rehire him in another position. It's like, oh, they feigned fixing the problem, probably, I'd imagine. Or he might even fell upward, although he's already at Microsoft. Unlike other inflammatory statements that might be defended as satire, sarcasm, or exaggeration, Hickey's post contained no disclaimers, no LOL, no emojis, and no clarification that it was meant in jest. The blunt statement, a call for violence against supporters of the sitting U.S. president, was liked by multiple followers, including Max Davenport, associate art director at Gearbox Software. Now, that's unfortunate. Gearbox does Path of Exile 1 and 2. You can't escape this shit,
Nope.
Meanwhile, Hickey swiftly vanished from the internet, deactivating all of his social media accounts and taking his personal art website offline. There's the post itself. Kill your local MAGA. MAGA. It just sounds funny, saying MAGA.
Well, you know yourself. If Kamala had been elected president and somebody said that about her, oh my God, everybody would be getting their pitchforks ready to storm the castle, so to speak. It's a damn double standard is what it is.
Yeah, they'd be talking about it in Congress going, how do we solve this? We can't allow this. It's open bigotry. We must take action. That's what you would be seeing.
Well,
think about it. Way back in the day, Congress even did that with rock and roll music.
Yeah, I remember.
And they have their lips sealed with all this rap shit, the gangster rap and all this, pop a cap and get me a white bitch and she's gonna be my hoe and I'm gonna own her like a slave, all this dumb shit that there are songs out there that go on like that. It may not be what you listen to, but it exists.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't Dee Snider go to Congress back in the 80s when all the mothers and stuff was having a fit over song lyrics or something?
Yeah, he did.
That's what I thought. I thought I remembered that.
On January 20th, the same day President Trump was inaugurated, Activision Blizzard President Rob Kostich sent a company-wide message reaffirming the company's dedication to DEI. This, again, was in my last live stream, and I did make a video on it. So I'm not about to read the entire thing because I've already done it.
Yep.
If you didn't watch it, that's on you. This is the type of atmosphere that Activision President Rob Kostich is fostering as he doubles down on woke DEI and ESG today. Kern posted, HR turns a blind eye to open calls for violence and death at these studios. So HR, human resources, he's basically saying Microsoft turns a blind eye to this. And in the larger picture, the law and Congress and, because it's all the mainstream media has been turned very woke liberal. And even if you want to drop the word woke from it and just go, it's liberal. Is anybody out there really denying that all the mainstream media is very liberal now?
I don't think so.
If you're denying that, you need to take the dick out of your ass and have your ears because, clearly you're twisted and you can't get your shit straight. I could go a lot of places with that, but I'm not. For now, it remains unclear whether Hickey has been formally fired or if his Slack deactivation is simply a precursor to further internal action. Regardless, the move signals that Activision Blizzard may have felt forced to address the situation after sustained public scrutiny. But the question remains, would this action have taken at all if people like Kern hadn't applied pressure? Many believe that without his spotlight on Hickey's post, Activision Blizzard would have quietly ignored the issue and allowing yet another example of ideological extremism to go unchecked within his workplace. Of course, they would have ignored it. Of course, they would have encouraged it even. You agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. I was thinking the same thing.
It's time to boycott Call of Duty until they remove DEI from Activision and their president repeals the toxic program Kern declared. You can't have employees wishing death to MAGA and a president doubling down on DEI. Americans deserve better games than game companies. I fully agree.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I don't play Call of Duty anyway. I never been into those soldier type games for that matter. You get on there and everybody's calling you slurs, and you know, you got like fucking babies talking about how they're gonna kill your families and stuff. And it's like, shut up and take your pacifier, you know. And you know, I don't need no little kids and little teenagers talking all that crap to me. They need their asses beat. And why am I gonna expose myself to that? I'm not. Even if I was into those kind of games, I still wouldn't. I was like, I don't need this. I play for fun, not stress.
Yeah.
Not to be insulted by babies.
Well, I mean, that's like I was saying before we really got started about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think I'll just go back to playing Mario because it's more fun and you know what you got and you don't have to put up with all of this kind of stuff.
Okay. To be fair, to my knowledge, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is an offline game. To my knowledge, I have not played it, but to my understanding, it's a single player offline game.
Oh, okay.
In which you sodomize people.
Ew. No.
But only if you choose to.
I don't care. No. Well, another issue I have with that game is, I know this is kind of off the subject, but another issue I have with Kingdom Come Deliverance is this. If a kid gets this game and they see the cover and it's like knights and you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, a lot of kids like that kind of stuff. And they play it and it's like, oh shit, this should not, you know, that's another reason they should not have that in the game unless it is strictly for adults. Now, if they have an adult rating on it, then I could, you know, kind of bend a little bit on my opinion. But if they don't, then no, they shouldn't have it at all in the game, period. Because there are some games out there that has that kind of stuff in the game and it's not optional. You have to play through that to progress in the game, and to me that's bullshit. I'm not going to buy it. That's just my opinion, and I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with it, but I don't give a shit. That's my opinion and I said it. And I would be hard pressed to change my mind on it without a lot of, you know, different settings for it. Because games are supposed to be for fun. They're not supposed to have political agendas in them. And now, unfortunately, they all do.
What I'm currently doing is trying to advertise the links to this because apparently YouTube isn't showing it to anyone.
Oh, shit.
Well, look at our numbers. I mean, even some bored motherfuckers would tune in for a minute and it's just not happening.
Huh. That is just weird. It's like it just quit all of a sudden. You know. So I wonder if we're kind of shadow banned or something.
Yeah. A lot of people be like, that don't exist. You just need to make better content. It's like, really? I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Well, I know places like Reddit you can get shadow banned and they don't tell you why. And the reason why I know that because I was ugly back when Hillary was running for president. I got on her subreddit
Yeah.
and I went to talking
If you
shit and they banned me.
if you look here, it didn't notify me.
Oh,
So so they had to come to stream and wait for it to start.
yeah. Well, that's shitty.
Yeah, when I had a much less subscribers, when I had like 50 subscribers, I got a lot more views, a whole hell of a lot more.
That just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm starting to think we're shadow banned for sure. I mean, I don't know why, because there's people on YouTube that make a lot worse content than we do and say a lot worse things. So it's just strange. I mean, I think that I don't even know how you would check for that kind of thing.
You can't.
That's what I thought. So, I mean, I just kind of wonder how these other people that make that I mean, I'm not talking about the people we know that stream and stuff. I'm talking about the ones that get on YouTube and just spew hate stuff all the time and their views are through the roof. How they manage to not be shadow banned, you know. It's just strange. I don't understand how that all works. I
Well,
ran across
apparently, I don't understand how any of this works. I follow the formula to no avail.
yeah. I mean, I seen this video where these people had posted a dog fight.
Okay, and if anybody out there wonders why I'm bitching, because it's off the formula. I've been doing this for more than a year, doing the same formula, doing the same thing, just spinning my wheels in place. So fuck it. I'm just gonna sit here and speak my mind too. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody here is like, I tell the truth. They're saying this about themselves, right? I'm a truth teller. I tell it how it is. I'm real. I'm real. You're real when you say the uncomfortable shit. When people are like, oh, he's on there saying that, that's when you're real. And people don't like it, but fuck it. You want to talk about real, I'm being real.
Well, like I was saying, I seen this video where these people were recording their dog fight. And that damn video had over 1 million views. That thing had like 1 million views. And I'm going, how in the hell is this not banned off YouTube? Why? And then others couldn't get nothing, And then I seen this other channel on YouTube. They did a video where they had got shadow banned for posting a pugs, pug dogs. Oh, well, this don't make no damn sense. You know, it really doesn't make any sense. I can't figure it out either. I don't know.
Well, I know I've switched my frame of videos once already. I think we need to switch it again
Oh,
because
really?
yeah, this 8 to 10 central time is when a lot of people are like prime time, right? And they're going to tune into other people. Now, I still don't expect a outpouring of attention, but if I'm going to keep at this, I'm going to keep trying to find subtle ways to improve it. And yeah, ultimately, fuck YouTube. I blame them. I blame the algorithm.
Well, what time should we do?
Maybe 11 to 1 or 10 to 12.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I suppose I was reading Midnight Ladybug's comment. She said, "People are disgusting. Sometimes they would rather watch dogs fight being bloody than adorable dogs." It's true. That goes back to the Roman
Okay,
Empire.
look, we're at a little past the hour point. I'm going to bring up some more issues because we haven't covered much. Okay, let me get my shit straight of what I'm looking at. I have a lot of tabs open here.
Yeah.
And I would be more organized in this, but I'm just kind of disappointed. Let's say I'm just kind of disappointed. The Last of Us live action show changes Abby's physique. You've seen the TV show, right?
Yeah.
While Neil Druckmann, he's the creator, I believe. Neil Druckmann claims we pandered to no one. Show could continue past season 2 despite lack of source material. So apparently he's over the show, but he's well known and generally disliked. So we pander to no one. Do you realize in the game they made that girl? Okay, again, don't quote me on this because I didn't play it, but I think they made her a tranny, even though in the first game she wasn't. But there's more. We'll get into it. Season 2 of HBO's The Last of Us live action TV show series is on its way. In a recent interview in Entertainment Weekly, the showrunners hinted that the series based on the beloved video game is so far from over, despite there being no more source material after season 2. They also confirmed that the character of Abby will have a different physique than in the game, while they're claiming they pandered to no one. The Last of Us series, both the game and its live action adaptation, have been a controversial issue for quite a while. That mainly centered around developer Naughty Dog dismissing fans' concern regarding Part 2 and copyright striking YouTube videos on the subject, so you couldn't talk about it. As well as the disgraceful death of the beloved character Joel in the favor of the divisive character of Abby. So the second season, they're going to knock him off, and that little girl is going to be the star, who I believe they turn into a tranny. Season 1 of the live-action series retold the first game. Season 2 will cover the second. Naughty Dog director and the series showrunner Neil Druckmann evidently intends to keep the show going. If true, Season 3 and any seasons after that will be completely fresh material, meaning garbage. Yet more garbage is what that means. Additionally, Abby, the character who's supposed to kill Joel, has undergone some changes for the show. For instance, it appears she won't have a muscular physique like in the game in The Last of Us Part 2. She's depicted as having a bodybuilder's torso complete with broad shoulders and huge arms. Yes, they did that in the game, and there was a sodomy scene in that game.
Oh, God.
They made... again, don't quote me on this, but I believe they made her a tranny, and they made her all muscular, and they're gonna not do that on the TV show, probably because they can't physically do that to the little girl actress.
Hey, it's the nobody.
We have nobody show up. And that's, per usual, they had her like a man. Yeah, apparently so. They said on part 2 she had a bodybuilder's physique.
Yeah.
They made her a man. Yeah. Little Abby is a whole different kind of Abby. And then they killed off Joel. And then, little bodybuilder Abby, who does, sodomizing, is the hero, I guess. It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
After that, Mazine revealed that the series will continue beyond a 3rd season.
What for? They killed off the main character.
Yeah, I mean, once they kill off the main character and make the little girl into a man, do they really think they're going to have enough support behind them to go into a 3rd season? I mean, okay, they probably have already secured the funds to do it, is what he's really saying, which means crap is going to get forced on us. Yeah, exactly. So much for woman power if you can't keep them a woman.
Well, my thing is if they kill off the main character, he's kind of the glue that holds the whole thing together. So it's going to fall apart. And that's like The Walking Dead.
I started to show interest in the game. I had not played it, but then I was wanting to play the first part when the second part controversy came out, and they was talking about this sex scene in the game, and I was like, nope, not anymore. I don't know. Fuck that. I want no part of this now.
Mm-mm. Well, that's like The Walking Dead. After the main character quit, the show.
Well, for a lot of people, it's when they introduced Negan and he started, just as you might say, dog walking them. They were all crying and they were getting bashed to death and they fell for all the dumb shit. Whereas they were badasses for 10 seasons and nothing could stop them. Now one man just whooped their ass and made them cry and beg. And then a lot of people was like, nope, I'm out. Fuck this. This is dumb. Fuck this stupid ass shit. They just killed my interest in each and every character.
Yeah. But The Walking Dead, Negan did kind of drive that show after he came on the scene, because it's like
after that episode, he had to, the other characters were somewhat irredeemable.
Yeah. But I do like the Daryl spinoff.
Okay, so that little girl riding a horse with that man, if she is to become a man, wait, does she grow a dick? I'm a little confused here. Because I'm thinking, what is she back there behind him with a boner? What's going on here?
Oh, dear Lord. I don't know, but I'm quickly losing interest in this show. I mean, I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I'm quickly losing interest because they're going to kill the main character. What is with all these people, all these producers and stuff, killing off the main character? Stephen King got that shit started when he went, kill your darlings. Don't be afraid to kill your darlings.
Yeah, that's like the worst advice ever.
Yeah, it is. It is. And now everybody's doing it. And I'm like, why? That it's like Game of Thrones. They were notorious for that stuff. And I'm like, why do that shit? And leave the story to the powerful characters, what's the point of watching it then? You know, there is no point. It's just filler for something to do after that.
I'm just making windows fly around.
Yeah, I'm kind of bitching here because that gets on my nerves. You know, you get invested in a story.
Okay, woman in the background.
Yeah. You get invested in the story and you come to know the characters and all that stuff, and they just kill them. It's like, have you lost your ever loving mind? You know, have you lost your damn mind?
Games of Thrones was just sex and death. I couldn't stand it myself. Well, I come to the same conclusion. I watched Game of Thrones and I was very hopeful. And right off, the first character I liked, what was he, a king,
Oh yeah, the
and they
king.
chop his head off and like, I don't know, impale his corpse or something like that. I'm like, yeah, fuck this.
Well, if you got to watch a show and you're
Not to
watching
mention
it,
people running in the cameras with their stuff jiggling right in front of the camera.
yeah.
Fuck you. No, fuck that.
If you watch a show and you have to do this every 5 seconds, no, it ain't worth it. You know, it's just not worth it. That's like that show Outlander. Oh my God. Oh no. Mm-mm. Don't ever watch that show, people. Mm-mm. Just don't. It would have been a good show if it hadn't had so much sex in it, and that one episode, the one
Surprise sex.
episode, yeah,
Surprise sex. And man on man forced sex.
yeah, and I'm like, oh God,
And man on woman forced sex.
no, no,
Well,
thank
look,
you.
I get it. Throughout history, there was a lot of that happening, but I don't watch shows for that. It disgusts me. It makes me want to murder people. And I
Yeah,
don't want to feel that way.
no. I mean, I get it. Stuff like that happens. It happened back then and it happens now, but I don't want to sit there and watch it. Ew. But trust me, don't ever watch that show. I mean, because no, no, just no.
Now I'm going to bring up an article that kind of states the obvious. But just so I'm covering something. Daredevil Born Again trailer outperforms Agatha All Alone and Echoes trailers, and it's not even close. Like I said, it's stating the obvious.
Yay!
Marvel Studios may have finally gotten the message after years of declining audience engagement, box office failures, and fan frustration. The company has released a trailer that actually resonates. Daredevil Born Again set to premiere on Disney Plus on March the 4th. And no, I don't think they've learned their lesson. Look at Wolverine and Deadpool, biggest hit they ever had, likely. And then they funneled that money into DEI projects. They have not learned a damn thing. Okay, the numbers tell the story. The Daredevil Born Again trailer has amassed 15 million views on Marvel Entertainment's official YouTube channel with 582,000 likes and only 3,800 dislikes. This level of engagement is something Marvel TV hasn't seen in a long time. Compared to their last two Disney Plus series, both of which centered around a female protagonist and were heavily marketed with identity politics. Oh, identity politics. I'm sure that's rooted in some evil somewhere, likely in like Marxism or something. I don't know. There's a lot of people on the internet that are well versed in that, but whatever the case, I call it for what it is. It's evil. I mean, haven't they ever heard like pride is a sin, pride cometh before the fall, and all this shit? Well, I guess they haven't, because they're not big on family or on Bible. And I guess they were never taught lessons. And
Nope.
and we're in a society that props you up if you lean on identity politics, unfortunately. Now I would play the Daredevil trailer, but one, I'm sure everybody's already seen it, and two, YouTube would have a little bitch fit.
Yep, they would.
Like, this is copyright and you can't show it, and some countries can't see it. And it's like, really? I bet they can go click on something and fucking play it anytime they want. Why can't I do it? You know, why? Just why?
Because you're you.
Okay, notably absent any sign of the girl boss element that have dominated recent Marvel projects. For the first time in years, a major Marvel series is centered on a central male hero without sidelining him in favor of a politically motivated narrative. Basically going, step back, little boy, let a woman solve this because we're the only ones that can.
Yeah.
You know, you see that in commercials now, you see that everywhere now. It's gotten to the point where a lot of young women think that way now. You can occasionally run into an internet clip where they're like, I can take a man down, and then the man's just standing there looking at them like they're stupid while they're hurting themselves, attacking them.
Yeah.
Or where they're trying to lift more weight than they could possibly lift, and they find out it don't work that way. This kind of bullshit is hurting women in a big way.
Yeah, it is. And I feel sorry for them too. Because it's because they're not happy with being a woman. There's things women can do, and then there's things that men can do. They're supposed to help each
A
other.
lot of them enjoy the hell out of being a woman because they know that the world's going to tell them everything they do and think is right, and they're going to have everything paid for them because they're like, I'm just a woman and you're supposed to support me, and courts are going to side with them. They love the hell out of being a woman.
Yeah.
But now they're also getting to think that they can beat up men and do all the stuff that men can do.
Well, that's feminism has rotted their brain basically, because they don't understand that nature does not work like that. You have the male and you have the female, and they both work together for the survival of their species. So human beings have forgot that, evidently. They think, I'm not saying all women think like this, but a good many do.
I've been through more in life than anyone has any right going through. Bad shit, basically. And is what I come away with it with. You will see humans being the most human in a good way when they're in mourning and when they're in suffering. That's when their humanity comes out. Not every time, but usually.
Yeah.
Some just get unbearable at those times, but they will be the most human or humane to you in those times than at any point in your life or their life.
That is true.
That's when I find the humanity in people. Usually, the mass majority of them just get on my fucking nerves because they're so full of pride and arrogance.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, that's me throwing some more insult out there so people could hate me just a little bit more. I just, every stream I got to push it. Just hate me a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Oh, but you're so good at it.
Okay, but to continue, fans remain cautious. Marvel has a history of bait and switch tactics. Just look at Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which was marked as a Doctor Strange sequel, but ended up being a movie about Wanda Maximoff and America Chavez. I don't even recall that. Did I even watch it? Anyway, there's always a chance Born Again will pull the same stunt. I believe I watched it, but it was not memorable.
Yeah, we watched it, but you fell asleep.
Yeah, if it was any good, I wouldn't have. One thing is clear, though, Marvel fans are rejecting identity politics and woke storytelling. It's not just Marvel fans, it's most people. They want high quality characters, character-driven stories that respect established lore and stay true to what made the franchise successful in the first place. Daredevil, Born Again, and the first sign in a long time. Yeah, that's what it says. First sign in. Okay. That Marvel might finally be listening. Whether they follow through remains to be seen. I think we all know better. I think Marvel, their brains rot it. They caught that
Yeah,
mind virus.
I think so too. But what the hell can you do? I mean, there's
Well, look,
nothing.
I do not, and I repeat, do not encourage anybody to go on a shooting spree or any other kind of spree against these fucked in the head people. There's times when violence is the answer, but it is not the answer like that. The only thing that will resort in is reinforcing their beliefs and you being shot.
Yeah.
You will strengthen their resolve. They will put it up like you were a psycho and see that's what we're up against, people. You should fight it civilly and intellectually, which
Yeah.
I may not do the best job at, but I make a reasonable attempt at it.
Well, the thing is I think you fight stuff like that with your pocketbook. You don't give them your money because without your
Well,
money, they can't function.
that is true, but the thing is what they do is already paid for, which means the writers, the actors, the directors, the fucking gender checkers, whatever the fuck they use, are all already paid for. So they're walking away going, it was a big hit. Look at, I got paid an enormous amount for this. And then they pay off the reviewers, they pay for ads, they even pay to put bots online. So it's a fake automatic hit even before it gets shown.
Well, the reason I guess why I say fight it with your pocketbook is they can't hide from the numbers in the theater. Like if
Actually, they can.
Oh, really?
They buy out seats. That's why a lot of these movies, the first showings of them, people would show up to a empty theater because they bought out the seats and didn't fill them to say they got the ticket sales.
Oh, okay.
So they
Okay.
fake a success beforehand.
Oh, okay. I understand.
And as
Well,
long
that's
as they're
true.
putting DEI, ESG material in it, they will be funneled money by Vanguard, BlackRock, and I'm betting by the UN as a whole.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. But on the other hand,
But fuck it. Fuck it.
no,
Sodomize that bitch.
no. But there's people like us.
Fuck it. But fuck it.
No, there's
Well, you
people
gotta
like
quit
us.
going but. I mean, come on.
Well, we can still speak out about it. They can't stop us from doing that. They can't stop our opinion.
Actually, they can. We're at the mercy of Google. Think what that means. Sure, there's alternatives, but they rely on servers that are likely owned by Amazon or Google or some other bigger company. Technically, they can stop us. You look at the UK, those motherfuckers can't even carry a knife anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
If they speak against something online, they'll come to their door and arrest them for it.
Yeah. Well,
So here's the thing. A lot of people's like, keep the fight up. And I agree. We need to keep the fight up, but don't be under any such illusion that they can't stop us.
yeah.
The thing is if we can't do it by sitting on our ass in front of a computer anymore, eventually people will start meeting up and doing something more solid about it.
Yeah, well, scared people in groups are dangerous people because they all get stupid.
Well, that explains the LGBTQ plus groups.
Yep. They're scared and they get stupid.
Okay, well, speaking of homos, an X-Men 97 showrunner, Bo DeMeo, claims Marvel stopped him from involving Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld in his series, which is okay, I'll get into it. My comments. This covers all of my comments. Bo DeMeo revealing that Marvel actually prevented him from involving Deadpool and Cable creator Rob Liefeld in the hit animated series. Well, this article is about both of those, Rob Liefeld and Bo DeMeo, but I've already done a video on Bo DeMeo, so I'm focusing on Rob Liefeld here. Liefeld, who recently cut ties with Marvel after a series of perceived snubs, like snubs, took to X to share Nar's departure from The Hollywood Reporter. Frustrated by Marvel's cold shoulder at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere, he wrote, and he created Deadpool. Not so much as a single handshake, classless. So he didn't get anything. They didn't even shake his hand. He wasn't even invited to the premiere.
Oh, that's awful.
I do believe that's what it's claiming here.
Yeah.
Liefeld's frustrations with Marvel came to a head at the Deadpool and Marvel premiere, where he says he was completely ignored by executives, including Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige. I always want to say a different word there, but anyway. Despite having created the character that made the franchise possible, he was not invited to the after party, so I guess he was in the premiere, but not the after party. A sharp contrast to how he was treated when 20th Century Fox was in charge of the Deadpool films. So I guess they made him a big part of it, whereas Marvel was like, nah, you fuck off. So I know how he feels. It was meant to embarrass, diminish, defeat me, Liefeld said on his Robert Servations podcast. What an odd word. Making it clear he felt Marvel was deliberately pushing him out. He had sent Marvel an email requesting a more significant credit in Deadpool and Wolverine, arguing that comic creators deserve better recognition. He received no response, and later learned his request had been poorly received within the company. His decision to officially sever ties with Marvel came soon after. This is not anything new for Marvel. That's why Image and such other comic companies were formed in the 90s, because Marvel was treating their writers and their artists just that bad that they left and made their own and became a big hit after a while. But then there was a lot of infighting and it started to crumble.
Well, that's just shitty. Because if he, like he said, if he hadn't created the characters, they wouldn't even had the movie to begin with, or the comic.
Liefeld's experience is just the latest string of controversies involving Marvel's treatment of creators behind its most famous characters, while Kevin Feige occasionally name checks comic legends at events like San Diego Comic-Con. The company has been repeatedly criticized for failing to give proper credit and compensation to the writers and artists who built its biggest properties. And that's true. They've been for decades known, for many of the decades, been known for how bad they treat their creators, their artists, and so on. Marvel is more than happy to profit from its creators' work, but sees little reason to involve them once their characters hit the big screen. Yep. So someone here is arguing he's just using the controversy to make himself relevant again, typical of a egomaniacal social justice warrior. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But knowing how many writers and artists they've done this way previously, I think is justified. I think creators, writers, and artists deserve more recognition. They deserve more credit financially and otherwise.
They did Stan Lee the same way, didn't they?
In a different way, but yes, they did.
I mean, and the creator for oh, what was that character?
The creator of Ghost Rider, they did that way.
Yeah, and Ghost Rider and oh,
I think the one who created a Rocket Raccoon, they did that way. I think so. I'm not sure on that one. The person who made Spawn, he was a regular artist at Marvel, which they wronged him enough that he went and made his own stuff, which was much more successful.
didn't they do the creator of Nightcrawler that way?
Oh, I don't remember that specific story. It's so long back. Oh, but back in the late 80s, I had known some artists, and they were great artists. They were better than Marvel's usual artists. You know, along the line of how Todd McFarlane would draw, you know, closer to that style. And many of them, they wrote to Marvel asking to be hired or trying to sell a character to them, and they would get back that, oh, we'll buy it for $5 or $20, right? Which you'll have no credit, you'll have no rights, we will solely own it. And they were like, nope, fuck that.
I don't blame them. I wouldn't do it either. It's like, no, I created this. I want the credit. And if you're not going to do that, then I'm taking my characters and going home. I mean, the thing about what a lot of people don't realize is if you're an artist of any media, whether it be writing or other kinds of art, and I consider writing an art because it is. People that can't do that kind of stuff does not realize the amount of mental and sometimes physical work that goes into creating something like that. Basically, you're creating something from nothing. I mean,
you know, I've been bitching on this whole stream about the way YouTube's doing me, right?
Yeah.
I've got more viewers on Rumble right now than I do YouTube.
Really?
Not by much, but yeah.
Huh. Well,
that should tell you something, shouldn't it?
Yeah. It makes me think what I said earlier about the shadow ban is true. Because that doesn't make any sense. I mean, because like I said before, we were going really good for a while, and then it just quit all of a sudden. I mean,
I know a lot of people's reaction would be like, you need to quit your bitching and crying and just do better, and you're too negative. And I've been at this for a while, you know. It's definitely the algorithm or something like that. It's definitely that. I mean, when I'm having more success on Rumble, which I barely even fuck with.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think there's no way to get around the algorithm on YouTube. As far as I know, there's not.
Yeah, but I'm going to continue on with my issues. My issues with propaganda, I suppose, but some of it is straight news that I find interesting, which I doubt many others will, but I find it interesting. Okay, this is about copyright and AI. U.S. Copyright Office declares generative AI can't be protected by copyright. The requisite level of creativity is extremely low. It's basically saying if you make something with AI, you can't copyright it. This means a lot of good things and a lot of bad things.
I have mixed reservations on AI to begin with.
In the second part of its Copyright and Artificial Intelligence report, the U.S. Copyright Office explains they began exploring copywriting AI material in early 2023. After numerous discussions over 10,000 public comments, they have drawn their conclusion. The U.S. Copyright Office cites the case of, get this now, Naruto versus Slater, where PETA attempted to argue a crested Macau on the selfie it took of itself using a photographer's camera. The monkey did not win the case. They also cite Thaler versus Perlmutter, where the former failed to argue his creativity machine was the copyright author while he was the copyright owner. This sounds like madness. So a monkey grabbed a camera and took a picture of itself.
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't know. It just sounds like madness, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's silly as fuck, and people spend a lot of money taking this through court, and it set precedents. The Universal Music Group had denounced that the prompting user is no more an author than someone who tells a musician friend to write me a pretty love song in a major key, and then falsely claims co-ownership. Others had argued both and against how precise or numerous prompts would need to be considered copyrightable or not. The office concludes that given current general available technology, prompts alone do not provide sufficient human control to make user of an AI system the authors of the output, the U.S. Copyright Office declares. I can agree with them, but this is still some really gray area if you really get to digging into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't own it, but does the people who made the computer or the software own it, you know? But you make AI material and you can't copyright it for yourself. I can agree with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair because you're not really doing it. A computer's doing it, and it's gathering information from across the internet.
That
So,
also, unless the people who, you know, you did the AI on and the people on the software or the computers of that, unless they can copyright it, it kind of makes it public domain then if indeed no one claims it. But I'm betting the people who own the servers or the software will be able to claim it, just not the person who put the prompts in to create it.
yeah.
In theory, AI systems could someday allow users to exert so much control over how their expression is reflected in an output that the system contribution would become rote or mechanical. The U.S. Copyright Office admits the evidence as to the operation of today's AI systems indicate that this is not currently the case, meaning there may come a time when you could put in such prompts to such a rate that there's enough of you put into it that you can claim it, but that is not the case with today's technology.
I have mixed feelings on AI to begin with.
Mine aren't so mixed. I would rather it not be a thing. Sure, it's a tool, helps people create quicker. I would just rather it not exist. I mean, yes, there's even practical applications that will help, I don't know, create cures and all this. But as far as art, whether it be music, whether it be digital art, whatever the case, as far as art, it should not be a thing, period. That's my take.
Well, for me, if you're using it as a tool to to get ideas on what to create, that's one thing. Or if you're putting your stuff in the program for it to touch up, that's one thing. But if you're using AI to create a completed work that you
Okay.
didn't have a hand in at all,
Well, kind of on that, what you're saying. In other words, prompts may reflect the user's mental conception or idea, but they do not control the way that idea is expressed. The U.S. Copyright Office summarizes this is even clearer in the case of generative AI systems that modify or rewrite prompts internally. That process recasts human contribution, however detailed it may be, into a different form. So they're saying whatever input you put into it, what's returned to you is different enough that you can't claim it as yours anymore.
yeah. I know I personally used AI to touch up some of my art pieces, and it did okay. You could still tell it was mine. I'm talking stuff like filters or whatever that, and putting prompts in and stuff like that to create backgrounds and stuff to get an idea of how I wanted it to be.
The fact that identical prompts can generate multiple different outputs further indicates the lack of human control. The U.S. Copyright Office drills down. They then reiterated that sweat of the brow was insufficient, and repeatedly revising prompts does not change this analysis or provide a sufficient basis for claiming copyright in the output. I could still agree with that with the technology as it is today.
Yeah.
Authorship by adoption also fails, as providing instructions to a machine and selecting an output does not equate to authorship. So I suppose they're referring to authors, writers, which I'm glad to see that. I don't want to see somebody write an AI written book. Oh, fuck off with that dumbass shit.
Yeah, that
fuck
would be bad.
Straight off.
That would be very, very bad.
Amid comments fearing protection of AI would stifle creativity. What? No, AI stifles creativity. And those arguing against special cases of copyright protection for AI, the Copyright Office has decided the case has not been made for additional protection for AI generative material beyond that provided by existing law. Okay, even in cases without AI, let's say modern video games, I see this often. I see them, you can see the tools in Photoshop, for example, in the game where they just go click. Okay, it's one color now. Click, there's a line through it, it's blended, and then like publish it, put it in that game. And I'm like, that's so fucking ugly. Why didn't you just like paint it with a light pen like they used to do, where it has detail, where it's not like you can tell it's some ugly ass pastel color with a swipe through it where you just click the blend button.
Yeah.
And that's not even AI, but software today is influencing people in a bad way. It's making their work lazy and ugly. It is stifling creativity.
It all looks the same.
Okay. They're using, again, I'll use Photoshop as an example. They're using Photoshop and they're like, we have the good tools, we have the right tools. And it's like, if your tool does too much of the work, you are no longer doing the work. And your work will suffer as a result.
That is so true. That is so true. Because there's nothing of the artist in the work anymore. It's all a computer generated thing. I mean, when you're an artist and you're creating something, part of you goes into that creation. Well, if it's all AI generated, there's nothing of you left. There's nothing of your intent, your emotion, anything in that piece. So, I mean, a monkey can create an AI work of art, a monkey. So, there's nothing of the artist in the piece.
Yeah, well, when I first started this, and I wasn't really getting that much traction. I think you suggested me, well, just do an AI voice, and let it AI voice read out, which that would have probably been immensely popular. It probably would have been, but I'm like, fuck that. We're humans. We need to act like it. If people don't like seeing my face and hearing my voice, oh well. If they don't like it, they just don't like it and they don't watch it. And oh, I'm a big failure. What the fuck ever. Let's all be human again. And let's stop gravitating toward these super smooth over fake ass voices.
It's all shortcuts, you know. I
If
think
you are so far removed from humanity that you have to have some lo-fi music with an AI voice playing and a split screen with a game on bottom and somebody talking on top, touch some fucking grass. Eat that fucking grass. Eat some dirt with it. Because you've lost touch so bad. You are so far gone.
yeah. I mean, I suppose the thought at first, the thought of AI generated things intrigued me because I wanted to know how it worked. I wanted to know what you could do with it and all that kind of stuff. But as time went on, I discovered that this is not good for me. You know, other people might like it or whatever, but as far as me being an artist, I don't like it because you can't feel it, and it's just like watching a picture on a screen. I mean, you can't feel it. I don't know if I'm getting this point across very well.
Well, for one, there's no canvas, there's no texture, there's no different inks made of different substances, there's no artist signature, whether it be their style of the signature or actual signature. You can't smell it. You can't look at it at different angles and different lightings. And if you can, they're not real angles and real lightings. There's no depth to it. It's all a bunch of blended crap, and AI is gonna spit out derivatives of other things it finds online, which is mostly composed of anime. Uh, Again, touch some grass. Eat that fucking grass. Eat some dirt with it because you're so far gone. I don't know if there's any hope for you.
Yeah, I was adjusting my headphones. Um, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Um, Gone are the days of classically trained artists. Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci and all of those, and I know those were way back, but they lived and breathed art. They started training when they were children. And somebody that's really passionate about art and writing and stuff like that, they get lost. They'll get lost in the whole AI thing. Yeah, it's a novelty at first, but if they can't get across their works of art, and it just gets buried. So what's the point of creating anything themselves with textiles that AI can do faster and more complete?
All right, I'm gonna go on to the next issue here.
Okay.
Okay, Boy Scouts officially drops boy from their name. It has been in talks for years, but on Saturday it made it official. One of America's most iconic institutions have caved once and for all to the woke warriors. The Boy Scouts of America are no longer Boy Scouts. They are just scouts now. In 2013, they began allowing openly gay boys in the Scouts. Then in 2015, they allowed homosexual men to become Scout leaders. Okay, there's a reason that there was a Girl Scouts and a Boy Scouts. That was because they didn't try to experiment with one another, and nobody was forcing anything like that on each other. And there's a reason why they didn't have gay men as Scout leaders for similar reasons. Now they're like, everybody diddle each other. It's okay. Boys on boys and girls and boys and men and little girls and little boys. Ew. Ew.
Oh, that's wrong. That's just wrong.
Okay. All of this was done for some reason in the wake of a major sex scandal in the Scouts. They seriously thought the best way to handle that was to begin promoting woke sex stuff. Exactly. That what? Why? I mean, what? What the fuck is wrong? It is a mind virus. It is. Following the inevitable trajectory of the slippery slope in 2018, they let girls join the Boy Scouts as if Girl Scouts doesn't even exist. So boys and Girl Scouts still existed. They started letting girls in. But boys couldn't join the Girl Scouts. This week's announcement is just the final nail in the coffin. The organization adopted the new name Scouting America on its 115th anniversary, marking a pivotal moment in the organization's journey, according to the statement released Saturday. Of course, they wanted you to know that the rotting corpse of the institution still has the same core values as when it was alive. While the name changed, the Texas-based organization said its mission has remained the same for a century: to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling them the values of the Scout oath and law. How are they going to be making moral choices when they're all,
Yeah.
messing with each other and getting messed with?
This is just another way for them to I don't even know how I can say it on YouTube without getting banned.
PDF files, Zoo files, and maps.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts is going to be run by a bunch of maps. Oh my God.
Okay, whether it's a camping trip, a Pinewood Derby car race, or a trail hike, every adventure encourages personal growth by teaching youth how to set goals and achieve them with determination. Like what? How not to get forced sex? I mean, is that like a determination? Is like, please, no, don't put me in the Scouts. You need to learn how to do stuff like fight off predators. I mean, it's a joke unto itself. It is a joke unto itself. Okay, spokespersons wrote in a statement, as we look further to the future, Scouting America is dedicated to providing young people with the values, skills, and experiences they need to thrive in a rapidly changing world.
They're going to teach them how to be transformers.
Okay, let's be honest, Boy Scouts were known as training to be men. When they want to take that away too, they want more pervs in it. They want to get rid of men. I mean, really, they want to get rid of men. Yeah. Everyone hates men. Where you're a straight man, especially a straight white man, straight white man with morals, you're the devil to these people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sure, Jan, sure. This is a meme. You must be a biological boy to be in the Boy Scouts. Where is that written? In the name, Boy Scouts. Okay, I just thought that was an interesting topic to cover there.
But it's sad to see that institution that's been around for decades is going the way of the four winds.
No, it's been around for more than a century.
Yeah. It's just sad to see that everything that has been around for generations is going up in smoke because of this woke mind virus.
Well, they're literally trying to eliminate straight men. Which,
Yeah.
okay, think about that. What's the end goal? Well, to have less people. It's
Yep.
to depopulate.
Yep. And tranny demons and stuff, the ones that are like that. Not all
And they're-
trans people are like that, but
And they're like, you're just a bigot and a sexist and a misogynist and a blah 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 homophobe, you know, all these slurs, right? And it's like, no, I just want there to continue being people on earth, families. I just what are you really speaking against that?
yeah. But now they're going after the children. And it's like you said, it just seems like they want to control the population. That's all it seems.
Okay. I'm gonna try to end this on a comedic note. Aussie influencer knocks himself out trying to run through 1,000 strips of duct tape. Influencers are always trying to outstupid each other for clicks, but I thought this Aussie influencer, Lil Golo, just outdid them all when he tried to run through 1,000 strips of duct tape and got laid out so hard you have to see it to believe it. No, I've seen dumber actually. I mean, if you think back to the whole Tide Pod thing for one, and the NyQuil chicken and the dancing outside your moving car, and there's just been so many.
Let's see how much duct tape it takes to stop me. 1, 10, 100. Oh, we are destroyed. 100. Let's go. We ran out of tape. $400 on duct tape, right? Haven't eaten yet. Check this out. I was gonna do 500, but we're gonna skip straight to 1,000. Block it hot like bacon.
Purchase your tracks today.
Block it hot like bacon.
Purchase your
1,000. Let's go, Noko! Let's run it back. Let's go. Gotta get it. Go, lad. Come on. Yeah! Oh, shit. It's coming.
Inshallah, the bird's nick is no snap.
I don't remember what happened.
He hit the spot like this, boom, on the ground.
I can give you some fentanyl into your vein.
Fan.
Yeah.
I didn't pack your name, but
That's the hair. I think I'm just gonna stick to OnlyFans videos.
inshallah, the bird's nick is no snapped.
Oh, what a dumbass. What a dumbass.
You stupid.
Yep. Oh my God.
Okay. I've had on here like a regular 3 to 4 viewers, and about 4 on Rumble. Okay, so people, what the fuck am I doing wrong, and how can I improve? And if you say have more guests on, I've been at this more than a year and I've had 2, and I've asked so fucking much. I just feel like people hate to see me coming. Okay, well, on that note, fuck YouTube. And bye.
Bye, everybody.
Your feelings can fuck off, you non-binary bitch. Telling everyone we're wrong while you sexualize kids. Keep your pronouns in your pants, this ain't the time or place. Unless you think you can dance, I'll punch that confused face. My